This morning, you most likely used soap, and your brain probably never asked the main question: how did humanity survive without it at all? Without shampoo? Without deodorant? Without a hot shower? Because for almost all of human history, people lived in a world where body odor was normal, where clothes smelled like smoke, where parasites were part of life, and where water was sometimes more dangerous than dirt. And here's what's truly strange. Despite all of this, people still tried to stay clean. It's just that their idea of cleanliness looked nothing like ours. And some of their methods today sound almost like something from a disturbing ritual. But to understand this, you need to realize one important thing. Primitive humans were not afraid of dirt the way we are. They were afraid of death. For a modern person, cleanliness is comfort. For an ancient human, cleanliness meant, I might not die from an infection. That's exactly why the human brain created one of the strangest survival systems: disgust. The smell of rot, corpses, diseased skin, spoiled food. All of this automatically triggers disgust, not because humans are picky, but because for thousands of years, these things killed people. Your disgust toward a dirty toilet was partially formed back in the Stone Age. Even today, the brain behaves as if you could die from some river bacteria. But the real problem of the ancient world was not dirt. It was parasites, lice, fleas, ticks, worms. Anthropologists believe that most people in the ancient world lived with parasites almost constantly. And it was so normal that Romans carried special tools for combing lice out of their hair. Imagine night, fire, and a person nearby calmly combing insects out of their hair. This was not considered horrifying. It was ordinary life. But then things get even stranger, because humans realized fairly early that some things could actually clean the body. For example, ash. Yes, ordinary ash left after a fire. People mixed it with water or fat and used it to clean their skin. And the most interesting part is, it actually worked. Ash contains alkaline substances. In fact, it was a very primitive form of soap. And suddenly fire starts looking even more important. It provided not only warmth, not only light, not only protection from predators. It literally helped people stay clean. Maybe that's why campfires still hypnotize humans in such a strange way. Because for hundreds of thousands of years, fire meant safety, food, warmth, and a chance to survive until morning. Your brain still remembers that. But then humans did something even stranger. Ancient Romans regularly visited public baths, and that sounds completely normal. Until you learn that they often didn't use soap. They covered their bodies in oil and then scraped the dirt off with a metal tool called a strigil. In fact, wealthy Romans paid people to scrape their bodies with a metal plate. Humanity has always been a very strange place, but the most absurd part came later. In medieval Europe, people started becoming afraid of washing themselves. Seriously. After epidemics, the idea appeared that hot water opened the pores, allowing diseases to enter the body. And here's what's truly disturbing. For that time, it sounded logical. People didn't know about bacteria. They were simply trying to find patterns. A person went to the bathhouse. Then they got sick. Therefore, bathhouses are dangerous. The human brain hates chaos, so it creates explanations even where none exist. And honestly, modern people do the exact same thing. Conspiracy theories, pseudoscience, civilization changed. But the Stone Age brain remained almost the same. And this is noticeable even in smells. Modern humans spend billions of dollars trying to smell not like humans. Vanilla, ocean breeze, anything, as long as it doesn't smell like an actual human body. And that's strange, because for thousands of years, the smell of a human meant one of us. Babies recognize their mother by smell. Fear has a smell. Even falling in love is partially connected to smell. Humans are far more animal-like than they want to believe. And here's another thing almost nobody thinks about. For most of history, humans almost constantly smelled like smoke. Fire burned everywhere, in caves, in huts, in homes. Clothes absorbed smoke. Skin absorbed smoke. Hair smelled like smoke too. Maybe that's why the smell of a campfire still feels so calming. For the ancient brain, the smell of smoke meant, it's safe here. There are people here. You can survive the night here. And suddenly, the modern world starts looking deeply unnatural. Sterile rooms, chemical fragrances, glowing screens at 2 in the morning. The human brain never evolved for this environment. Technically, your body still believes you should be sitting near a fire somewhere in the dark, listening to crackling wood, not replying to emails. And the most ironic part is, the modern world is trying to remove almost everything that reminds humans of their true nature. Sweat, darkness, silence, body odor, the night sky. But the brain still remembers the old world. That's why it's hard to look away from a fire. That's why rain feels calming. That's why complete silence can sometimes feel frightening. Because somewhere very deep inside, within the modern human, there still lives a creature that survived for thousands of years among smoke, cold, and fire. And maybe it never disappeared. If you watched until the end, write in the comments what topic you'd like to see in the next video.